We arrived at exactly 8 p.m. The mall was still fairly busy with evening shoppers, which gave me some comfort. We'd chosen a spot near the central fountain, visible from multiple angles and close to security cameras. Thomas and Jordan positioned themselves at a cafe table about 30 feet away, pretending to be just two guys hanging out. Aunt Sarah stationed herself in a bookstore across the way, keeping watch through the window. My mom and I sat on a bench, waiting. I was hyper-aware of every person who walked by, scanning each face for any sign of Haley. My palms were sweating, and I kept wiping them on my jeans. "Do you think she'll actually show?" I whispered to my mom. She nodded grimly. "She'll show. Haley never backs down from a challenge." 10 minutes passed, then 20. The mall would be closing in an hour, and still no sign of Haley. Just as I was beginning to think she'd changed her mind, my phone buzzed with a text. "Unknown number. Bathroom. By the food court. Come alone or mom gets hurt." I showed my mom, whose face drained of color. "It's a trap," she whispered. "You can't go alone." I knew she was right. Meeting Haley alone in a bathroom was exactly the kind of isolated situation we were trying to avoid. But what choice did I have? "I'll tell Thomas," I said, quickly texting him the situation. He responded immediately. "Absolutely not. Too dangerous." But I was already standing up. "I'm going," I told my mom. "But I'm not stupid. Tell Thomas and Jordan to position themselves outside the bathroom. If I'm not out in 5 minutes, they come in." My mom grabbed my arm, her fingers digging in painfully. "Leah, please. She's not stable." "I know," I said, gently removing her hand. "But this needs to end. Today." I walked toward the food court, my heart pounding so hard I could feel it in my throat. Thomas caught my eye from across the mall and shook his head frantically, but I just pointed to the bathroom and held up 5 fingers. 5 minutes. He looked furious but nodded, already moving in that direction with Jordan. The bathroom was at the far end of the food court, in a little hallway that also led to the mall offices. It was quieter here, away from the main shopping areas. I pushed open the door, half expecting Haley to jump out at me immediately, but the bathroom appeared empty at first glance. 4 stalls, all with doors closed, a row of sinks with large mirrors above them, harsh fluorescent lighting that made my already pale face look ghostly. "Haley?" I called, my voice echoing slightly against the tile walls. "I'm here, alone." One of the stall doors slowly swung open. Haley stepped out, and I barely recognized her. Her usually perfect hair was greasy and pulled back in a messy ponytail. Dark circles shadowed her eyes, which had a wild, unfocused quality I'd never seen before. She was wearing the same clothes from days ago, now rumpled and stained. "You actually came," she said, sounding genuinely surprised. "I didn't think you would." "You said you wanted to talk," I replied, keeping my distance. I positioned myself so I was between Haley and the door. If I needed to run, I could. So talk. Haley leaned against the sink, studying me with those strange, feverish eyes. "You've ruined everything," she said matter-of-factly. "You know that, right? Everything was perfect before you decided to change." "I didn't decide to change, Haley. I just grew up. That's what people do." She shook her head violently. "Number, you were supposed to stay the same. Stay in your place. The ugly twin, the forgotten one. That was your role." The cruelty of her words stung, even though I'd known for years that's how she saw me. Hearing it stated so baldly was different. "That's really messed up," I said quietly. "You know that, right? Normal sisters don't think that way." "Normal sisters," Haley repeated with a bitter laugh. "We were never normal. We were special. I was special. Until you took that away from me." I noticed she kept one hand in her jacket pocket, and my stomach clenched. Did she have a WAP on? I needed to keep her talking until my 5 minutes were up and Thomas came to check on me. "I didn't take anything from you, Haley. Your specialness wasn't dependent on my being less than. Wasn't it, though?" she challenged, taking a step toward me. I instinctively stepped back. Everything was a competition. Everything was about being better, and I was better. Until suddenly I wasn't.